Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. Well, there's some more news coming out about 3I Atlas. And what they're saying is it's emitting a lot of water. And they're baffled because they said where it's located in space, it is freezing. It should be ice, but it's not ice. It's coming out as water. And it's kinda defying nature because if you're in a deep freeze and water shoots out, quite naturally, it's gonna freeze. Well, this stuff ain't whatever it's emitting, it may not be water, it may look like water, but it may not even be water, but it's not freezing at all. So, many people are now coming online to talk about this. So, that's what we're gonna listen to. And you be the judge, you know? Be the judge of it. Alright, hold on, let me share my screen. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Shalom, family. Thank you.
Right now, 3 astronomical units from the Sun. Something impossible is happening. A comet is spewing water vapor into space, 40 kilograms every second. That might not sound impossible to you yet, but here's the thing. At that distance, water ice shouldn't be doing anything at all. It should be frozen solid, locked in place, completely dormant. And yet, this comet is producing water like a cosmic fire hose. This is 3I Atlas, the third confirmed interstellar object ever detected. And it's not just breaking the rules, it's rewriting them. This object is ancient, 7 to 10 billion years old. That's older than our sun, older than Earth, older than everything you've ever known. It formed in another star system, orbited another sun, and has been wandering the galaxy for eons. And now, for just a brief moment in cosmic time, it's passing through our neighborhood. We have one chance to study it. One chance to learn what secrets it carries from the ancient universe. This is 3I Atlas. And this is its story. July 1st, 2025. The Atlas telescope system in Chile was doing what it does every clear night, scanning the sky for asteroids that might pose a threat to Earth. ATLAS stands for Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System. It's part of a global network designed to spot dangerous space rocks before they get too close. 4 telescopes, 2 in Hawaii, 1 in Chile, 1 in South Africa. They work in coordination, capturing the same patches of sky multiple times per night, looking for anything that moves. On this particular night, the Chilean telescope caught something. A faint dot of light that hadn't been there before. Not unusual. ATLAS finds objects all the time. The initial assumption was simple. Probably just another comet from our solar system's distant reaches. Log it, track it, move on. But as observations continued over the following days, something became clear. This wasn't a normal comet. The trajectory was wrong. When astronomers calculated its orbit, they found something startling. The path was hyperbolic. Not elliptical. Hyperbolic. That single word changes everything. An elliptical orbit means an object is bound to the sun, cycling around it in a closed loop, part of our solar system family. A hyperbolic orbit means the object is just passing through. It came from somewhere else. It's heading somewhere else. It will never return. This was an interstellar visitor. The object was designated C/2025L1, Atlas, but everyone just calls it 3I Atlas. The 3I means third interstellar object. The first was Oumuamua in 2017. The second was Comet Borisov in 2019. And now, in 2025, we have our third confirmed visitor from beyond our solar system. Let me be clear about what interstellar really means. This object didn't form around our sun. It formed around a different star, light years away. At some point in its history, gravitational interactions ejected it from its home system. It was cast out into the void between stars, and it's been traveling through that void for billions of years. The distances involved are almost incomprehensible. The nearest star system to us is over 4 light years away. That's 40 trillion kilometers. 3I Atlas has been drifting through that kind of darkness for longer than our planet has existed. And now it's here, passing through, a messenger from another world. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Interstellar object, anomalous behavior. Is it aliens? Let me address that right now. No, it's not aliens. But what it actually is might be even more fascinating than any science fiction. Because this isn't some manufactured probe. This is a natural object carrying a chemical fingerprint from another star system. It's a sample, delivered to us by chance, from a place we could never visit. It's a time capsule from the ancient galaxy. And that's worth paying attention to. So, what is this thing? Let's talk size first. Based on observations, the nucleus of 3I Atlas is estimated to be between 2 and 6 kilometers across. Think of a mountain, not a small hill. A proper mountain range compressed into a ball of ice and rock. The mass is approximately 30 billion tons. To put that in perspective, that's roughly the mass of 75,000 fully loaded aircraft carriers, or the Great Pyramid of Giza multiplied by 20,000. This is not a pebble. This is a massive chunk of ancient material, and it's moving fast. Currently traveling at around 210,000 kilometers per hour relative to the sun. That's nearly 60 kilometers every second. At that speed, you could travel from New York to Los Angeles in under a minute. The kinetic energy alone is staggering. If this thing were to hit a planet, the result would be catastrophic on a scale that would make the dinosaur extinction event look modest. But it's not going to hit anything. Its trajectory is taking it through the solar system on a path that won't bring it close to any major planets. It's just passing through, untouched and untouchable. Now, here's where things get interesting. Under normal circumstances, comets are predictable. We know how they behave. When a comet from our solar system approaches the sun, it starts to heat up. At around 3 astronomical units, about 3 times the distance from Earth to the sun, water ice begins to sublimate. It transitions directly from solid to gas without becoming liquid. This creates the familiar comet tail, the coma of gas and dust that makes comets so spectacular to observe. But here's the key detail. That activity is driven.
So, what it seems like, I personally, 3I Atlas update, by the way, 3I Atlas update. So what I think personally is that 3I Atlas is being chased by Swan. I'm not sure. I mean, it's being followed, but what if 3I Atlas was like the homies, like we about to get away, and Swan was like, hey, y'all can't get away. We y'all got to come back here. And everybody done came to our solar system trying to populate our solar system because we obviously got a habitable planet. And they decided to stop on Mars, and they looking at us trying to determine how ghetto we is. And they like, yeah. So Swan looking for 3I Atlas on Mars right now. It's 7 other comets chilling, looking at the Earth, and they all 7-foot black aliens. I can see 7-foot black aliens trying to escape prison life across the universe or whatever, trying to escape the thugs, the authorities. You know what I'm saying? That'd be funny as hell. What if that was the actual case? 3I Atlas was full of 7-foot black aliens trying to escape the fuzz. What would we call that if that was a movie? I don't know. This was just a random. That is not any pertinent information in this particular. I didn't do no research. I just thought about 3I Atlas housing 7-foot fugitive aliens, black aliens that want to come to Earth and mate with the local women. That is a good story right there. That's a movie. I should write that. I'm gonna get with ChatGPT and we're gonna write that movie. That's what's up. All right, that was my 3-eye atlas. Not quite an update, but stuff. All right, now this is getting a little creepy, a little strange. Okay, first and foremost, this is a 3-eye atlas update. And yes, I might have to say for entertainment purposes only on this one because it's a little bit too much. I'm even starting to be like, So a lot of my comments have been saying, how have they been talking to him? Who are the they that's been talking to him? And we now have CERN entering into the conversation. If you don't know what CERN is, it's called a Large Hadron Collider. I'll do a whole nother take on that. But CERN has been opening portals. I heard this years ago that they was opening portals and they was talking to entities, okay? So they saying that they have not only been talking to a bunch of extraterrestrials, but they also been talking to the people on 3-eye atlas. And they say the people on the beings on 3-eye atlas are coming to get the star seeds. They have a reason. They're coming in peace, but they want to take the star seeds with them. Star seeds, just to me, sound like food that's delicious. But they're saying they coming in peace. So I guess I have to say for entertainment purposes only. And yeah.
Them almost perfectly, except for one small variation. The signal's harmonic structure had shifted downward by precisely 0.27%, the same ratio Webb used to compensate for Doppler drift during data compression. In other words, the object had copied Webb's data signature. By now, what began as a celestial curiosity had become a classified matter. Official statements referred only to data recalibration procedures. Yet behind closed doors, multiple agencies began coordinating silent observation blackouts, turning away instruments, redirecting satellites, pretending not to look. Because if 3-eye atlas truly reacted to observation, if its behavior amplified in proportion to human attention, then perhaps the safest course wasn't to keep watching, it was to stop. The final transmission. In the early hours of October 7th, the silence broke, not through an announcement, but through a leak. A fragment of untagged telemetry data appeared briefly on an independent deep space relay server in Madrid. The packet was small, only a few kilobytes, but it contained compressed readings from Webb's final direct observation of 3-eye atlas before the feed went dark. Within hours, the file spread across private astrophysics networks, decoded frame by people desperate to know what NASA had seen. The contents defied every expectation. The final image wasn't a photograph in the usual sense. It was a composite of intensity gradients, light frequencies, and phase delays merged into a single visual field. When reconstructed, it showed something unmistakably organized, a web-like lattice spanning the object's sunward face, glowing faintly with the same hydroxyl emissions linked to water activity. But this time, the pattern wasn't random or vented gas. It was symmetrical, 6 interlocking arcs, each radiating from a central point connected by curved filaments that looked almost biological in form. For a brief moment, less than 3 seconds of total exposure, the lattice brightened. Every strand pulsed in perfect synchrony, generating a coherent infrared flash strong enough to saturate Webb's detectors. Then, just as quickly, the light collapsed into darkness. The remaining frames showed only residual static and faint diffraction patterns spreading outward, like ripples from a vanishing source. That was the last confirmed signal ever received from 3-eye atlas. Since then, attempts to reacquire the object have failed. Ground-based tracking suggests it's no longer following its previous trajectory. Its velocity vector has changed, slightly but unmistakably, as though something inside it altered its course. No debris trail, no fragmentation, no residual dust, just a clean absence, moving away from the sun on a path no orbital model can fit. Some claim the lattice was a natural crystallization of brine ice exposed to radiation. Others insist the symmetry was a response, a final signal sent once the object realized it was being watched for for the last time. Thanks for watching another episode. While you are still here, make sure to click the video on your screen for more quality content.
3i Atlas is getting weirder by the day. It's now spraying water like a fire hose, changing color and speeds, and some say smaller objects are traveling right beside it. Here's the deal. Telescopes are picking up about 90 pounds of water shooting off of this thing every second, and it's still hundreds of millions of miles from the sun. That's insanely active for a comet this far out. And even stranger, new images show tails on both ends. One's trailing like normal, the other ahead of it, almost like something's pushing back. But what's likely happening is the front tail is a light effect, dust and gas scattering sunlight as the comet spins, making it look like it's glowing from both sides. And some observers are noting that its speed has changed slightly, which could mean jets of gas are nudging it as it rotates. And that's where these theories are starting. People are saying it's dropping probes or breaking into formation, but so far there's no proof of that. Scientists think it's shedding chunks of dust and ice, kind of like slow motion debris peeling off as it heats up. Still, the pattern is odd enough that nobody's ruling out any surprises. Obviously, NASA's quiet right now because of the shutdown, but observatories in Chile and Europe are still watching. Their next image drop could confirm if this thing's really breaking apart, or it's just putting on the best show in the solar system. So yeah, 3i Atlas is glowing green, it's losing water like crazy, and maybe not flying solo. But is it nature or something else? We're gonna find out soon, and I'll keep you updated. But until then, is this a mostly true alien story or not?
We need to save our bird.
40 kilograms of water are vanishing from an interstellar comet every single second, far from the sun, in a region where even our own comets lie dormant. NASA's Swift satellite caught this comet in July 2024, blasting out steam like a miniature fire hose at 2.9 astronomical units, an activity rate never seen from a visitor between the stars. But if 3i/Atlas is bleeding water so fast, why is its coma packed with strange icy fragments? And why did James Webb find carbon dioxide outpacing water by 8-1 just days later? This isn't just a comet story, it's a cosmic riddle no one has solved, and the answer could reshape what we think lurks between the stars. So what exactly is 3i/Atlas hiding? NASA's Swift Observatory turned its ultraviolet eye toward 3/Atlas in late July 2024, seeking the chemical fingerprints that betray a comet's activity. The ultraviolet and optical telescope perched above Earth's atmosphere captured a distinct signal: hydroxyl radicals, OH, flaring in the cold vacuum, a proxy for water vapor breaking apart under sunlight. Over a week of stacked exposures, the Swift team measured water loss at nearly 40 kilograms per second. This was not a trickle, but a torrent, a rate that rivals the output of a city fire hydrant, erupting from a body nearly 3 times farther from the sun than Earth. At 2.9 astronomical units, most solar system comets are silent, their ices locked away by the cold. Atlas, by contrast, was throwing water into space with abandon. The scale of this activity raised immediate questions. Calculations showed that to match the observed water production, at least 8% of the comet's surface would need to be actively sublimating, far higher than the 3 to 5% typically seen in local comets at this distance. For a nucleus estimated at 5 to 6 kilometers across, that translates to more than 7 square kilometers of exposed sunlit ice. Yet the ultraviolet emission wasn't tightly clustered around the nucleus. Instead, it spread across an extended cloud, hinting at another source. Models pointed to a swarm of icy grains, tiny fragments, each acting as a miniature steam vent. Sunlight striking these grains could vaporize water over vast distances, boosting the apparent activity far beyond what the nucleus.
So let's talk 3i Atlas, because there's still a bunch of weird stuff going on with it. Now, it still does not have a tail. It has a forward-facing glow, which is super weird, almost like it's got headlights on or something. And then it's still not emitting normal cometary gases, which again is still really weird. And it's also releasing a ton of water, which releasing water at the distance that it's at makes no sense because it still shouldn't be melting by anything. Not to mention the whole theory of it's going to be passing by a bunch of planets just so happens to coincide with when they're going to be in alignment, kind of like a alien cruise ship. I don't know. It's probably just a rock. It is most likely just a rock. But if it is aliens, that would be really cool. And then also, we have ourselves sent Voyager 1 out to interstellar distances. Who's to say this is not a similar, just random ass probe from some other place that just finally made its way here? Who knows? Also, to piggyback on the thing people saying that, oh, why is it moving so slow? It's moving faster than anything we've ever seen come into our solar system, into our area. The point of it moving slow is that it's so far away, it still takes a long time to get here. But it's not moving slowly. It's not like it's crawling at 60 miles an hour. This thing is hauling ass out there. It's just taking a long time to get here. So is that forward glow something that it's pushing to try and slow itself down as it makes its approach? I don't know. I hope it is. Because personally, I would love to have some aliens here like tomorrow. Because whatever we got going on right now isn't doing it for me.
What the fuck is going on with 3i Atlas, guys? This mysterious interstellar object hurtling through our solar system right now is giving scientists more evidence that it could possibly be an alien craft from another galaxy. According to Harvard scientist Avi Loeb, the object dubbed 3i Atlas seems to be generating its own light source as well now, which is really strange. The shocking revelation comes from a picture an astronomer took of 3i Atlas using the Hubble telescope on July 21st. The light from 3i Atlas in Hubble's photo appears as its glowing area focused on the side of the object facing the sun. It's not a beam or laser shooting out like a spotlight, nor was it a uniform glow covering the entire surface. Until now, the prevailing theory has been that the fast-moving object is a giant comet approximately 12 miles long, which will make its closest pass to Earth on December 17th. In a new report, Loeb has said that the glow might be caused by dust coming off the object's surface as it's heated by the sun. But it's also giving off water. It's giving off its own light. It seems to be giving off water. However, the glow's brightness decreases sharply with distance, which doesn't match any typical comet behavior that we've ever seen before, because they normally reflect sunlight. According to Loeb, this has added yet another potential clue that 3i Atlas might be some sort of artificial object containing a powerful source of energy that's capable of generating light that can be seen millions of miles away. 3i Atlas could be a spacecraft powered by nuclear energy, and the dust emitted from its frontal surface might be from dirt that accumulated on its surface during its interstellar travel, Loeb has wrote. We also I now do not think that this is possibly part of Blue Doodles, by the way. I do think this is an odd, interesting object that could potentially be alien. I don't think it's an alien threat whatsoever. I don't see why an interstellar, such an advanced race would be hostile. I think once you get to a certain level of intelligence and conscious enlightenment, you're probably not really interested in killing everything anymore. We're pretty, down on the conscious level. We're pretty basic. We're almost still cavemen, really, which is why aliens have probably ignored us still for so long. Anyway, what do you think, guys? What's going on with 3i?
Okay, y'all. Yeah, I did notice the shit locks. Yeah. Um, so anyway, um, look, y'all, all these people can do is guess. Nobody have a real answer, but just remember other countries also have telescopes. It's not just the James Webb over here in this country. Um, there are European nations that have their own telescope. China has their own, and China got probes around Mars. You know, I would think they would have gotten some good shots of it. But for some reason, Russia got probes up there and satellites. So many countries do. India, South Africa, and nobody is delivering any pictures so far of it, except for, amateurs with their telescopes outside in their backyard and snapping pictures. But as far as from one of these $1 million telescopes, we're not getting anything. And the US already switched stuff off. And to me, that's very telling right there, that what we're looking at is not just simply a comet. And I also want to thank Kim Ware for the Zelle that you sent. I deeply appreciate your support for my channel. Thank you so much. So, listen, y'all. Now, in another, 2 weeks, this thing should be going behind the sun. They're still using the date October 29th for when it will get behind the sun. And then we won't see it for nearly 2 months. And they're saying like around between the 17th and 19th of December, that's when it will come out from behind the sun. So it's still a lot that's going to happen. They don't know what's going on. Everybody is just guessing. Even when I watch the news and they try to talk about it, it's all guesses. They don't know. They have never seen anything like this before. So how are they going to have some real solid answers? They won't. So y'all, this one's going to be my final live stream for today. And I deeply thank you for all of your support and everything. My husband got laid off. So we're going to be facing some really tough times in my household. So we're just going to have to do the best that we can to hold it together. They've been laying off on his job now for the last few months, and it finally hit him. And this is terrible. I know one of the men he worked with, been there as long as he was. He got laid off around August, and he cannot find work. He said he must have put in at least 150 applications. He puts in several each and every day, hasn't gotten one call back. It really is a tough job market, but I'm just going to pray to the Most High and lean on him the best that I can and pray we get through this entire thing. So, y'all, please keep us in prayer. So, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much, everybody. And be on the lookout for my live streams that I will be posting for tomorrow. Shalom, family.